All right, everybody. I'm going live, and this is going to be a very informative and very opinionated, so I guess we can call it my opinionated facts on what's going on with ESPN, NFL, and the President of the United States right now. So this is my public service announcement. If you've never been to my channel before, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it across social media, and definitely leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think. Right now, let me get this, put on Twitter and everything and let everybody know I'm going live. I'm going to be discussing Jemele Hill, and I'm going to be discussing the recent comments made by Jerry Jones and the President of the United States. So give me a second real quick here. And, or not to Neil. All right, let me set this out. Bam. All right, so first thing I want to address is Jemele Hill being fired. I mean, not fired. She was suspended from ESPN. Now, they said that because of her recent statements made on Twitter, and then her previous statements where she called Trump pretty much racist. I think this was like a couple weeks ago. They said based on that incident and then her tweeting about what Jerry Jones has said, that they felt the need, she deserved a suspension based on those actions. I want to know, where's the Michael Smiths? Where's the Bomani Joneses? Where are the David Aldridge? Where's all these people who also were outraged that this female reporter was disrespected by Cam Newton? Where are those same people not defending Jemele Hill now? I want to know all the ESPN people, the Scott Van Pelts and all those people associated with ESPN, why they are not speaking out against ESPN suspending her. And I'm just going to show you, read a couple of things that she tweeted out to see if you guys believe she deserved to be suspended too. She said, Cowboys have a huge national following. Lots of black and brown folks are Cowboys fans. What if they turn their backs on them? Somebody said, I don't think it's fair to tell someone how to protest. Perhaps they do it in their own way. That's just as meaningful. She said, I agree, but by drawing a line in the sand, Jerry put his players under more scrutiny and threw them under the bus. Then she ended up tweeting out later that, just so we're clear, I'm not advocating an NFL boycott, but an unfair burden has been put on players in Dallas and Miami's with anthem directives. So her main point was that Jerry Jones's comments saying that if players choose to disrespect the flag, and he's referring to the kneeling during the national anthem, that they will not play. First off, I want to know, are they going to be suspended without pay? Are they breaking any rules? According to the directives in the NFL, they said that all players must be present during the national anthem. Now, if this was the Pittsburgh Steelers where they decided to stay in the locker room during the national anthem, they would be breaking that directive. It also says that players should stand, not must stand, or they demanding that they stand. They said you should stand. So that gives players leeway in the collective bargaining to interpret this in their own way and give them a choice to stand or not to stand. So according to that premise alone, they are within their rights to kneel or sit, like Marshawn Lynch has been doing and Michael Bennett has been doing with the Seattle Seahawks. So all Jemele Hill is saying is that they're putting these players in an uncomfortable position if you are threatening to not play them. And I'm going further to say that, are you saying you're going to suspend these players without pay? Because you're costing these players money. Colin Kaepernick is knowing and learning the hard way that when you do this, they will shun you out. And now Jemele Hill is learning the hard way that if you speak on this instance, it seems like ESPN is backing these owners, is backing the NFL as a brand. They're also inadvertently or maybe on purpose backing Donald Trump. Donald Trump ended up tweeting out, I praise Jerry Jones for sticking up for what's right and to those NFL players who are disrespecting the flag. They have been able to manage to turn the narrative of why people are kneeling in the first place against the players who are actually kneeling. Colin Kaepernick started kneeling. First off, Marshawn Lynch has never stood. Colin Kaepernick started kneeling because he thought that he needed to do something to bring light to all this racial injustice that was going on during the time he started kneeling. With the police shootings, also the reported instances of amount of black people pulled over versus Caucasian people, the amount of minorities not getting the same jobs, not getting the same opportunities as white folks. So I think they don't want to speak about that, just like they didn't want to speak about these protesters in Charlottesville. Like, I feel like all of these things are problematic, and I was on a podcast with the homie KDG. Please follow him on Twitter and follow his YouTube. His Twitter is @AKAxxKDGX. He puts out a lot of content on the Packers, and then he does a weekly podcast. Check him out. But I spoke to this when Jerry Jones kneeled with the team before the national anthem. I called it a farce. I was like, it's bull crap. I went on a whole rant. Check that out. But it was just a show. It was saying that, I'm here to stick up for you guys, but then immediately after that, Trump blew up his phone. It was reported he had a numerous amount of calls to Jerry Jones. And it seems like, Jerry Jones was, talked to by Trump. And in my opinion, flip-flop completely. And here's one telling thing. Jones emphasized NFL game ops manual several times, and then he said, you know who reminded me about the game's ops policy? Donald Trump. So he said Donald Trump's name. What's funny is he never mentioned Donald Trump's name when Donald Trump said all these players disrespecting the flag need to be suspended or kicked off the team. He never mentioned that. They never mention what Donald Trump says in a negative manner to these people. They never address Donald Trump when he makes all these blasphemous tweets, disrespecting people left and right, but yet again, neglected and refused to speak on Charlottesville. They don't speak about that. It's problematic, man. You got the president of the United States, who probably is one of the most powerful, or if not the most powerful person in the world. If Obama would have did anything close to what Donald Trump is doing now, we would have had outrage. But Donald Trump is not being held accountable to his actions or his words, for that matter. And Jerry Jones goes on to say, My job is the Dallas Cowboys. It's in the best interest of the Dallas Cowboys, the NFL, and the players to honor the flag. And he also says the policy is in the best interest of the players who need consequences to stand up to peer pressure. Jerry Jones said, I've always had our players' backs on issues I've been criticized for. And the only issue I see him defending his players are if his players are suspended. He's, for domestic violence or anything like that. He backed Greg Hardy, but he won't back his players kneeling, which is funny to me. Domestic violence is okay. Kneeling for racial injustice is not okay in his eyes. One reason Martellus Bennett probably bounced out of there. He didn't like the owner. Jones said he thought controversy would go away after Monday Night Football in Arizona when team knelt in unity before anthem and then stood locked in arms. Well, he pretty much is saying that, hey, I just did that for show, so all y'all will shut up and go back to watching football. And then the NFL tried to pull a slick one and put the last Star Wars trailer that's probably going to be released during this football game to distract y'all. Do not be confused. They are doing everything in their power to squash this under the rug. And basketball season starts this month. Adam Silver the commissioner of the NBA, already came out and said that he is directing his the players of the NBA not to kneel. With people like, well, first off, J.R. Smith immediately tweeted out, yeah, right. And then you got people like LeBron James, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, all these players. You got Damian Lillard from Oakland. I mean, these players, they've been noted to go down and speak on racial injustices. Steph Curry already spoke against Donald Trump. Are they going? I want to see what they're going to do. I really hope that they make a stand. I really hope that Russell Westbrooks make a stand. The Giannis Antetokounmpo make stands. These big basketball players need to stand up and speak, because the NFL is already threatening their players. NBA, I feel like the NBA players have way more power and way more control over their say-so than the NFL players. And I feel like if they stand up, Adam Silver would take a step back. And Richard Sherman already spoke to how much player power the NBA players had and says that these NFL players need to strike. Well, where do you draw the line? Because I'm feeling like if you let them punk you, if you let them Colin Kaepernick you, NFL players, it will never end. The voices will not be heard. They want you to speak in private so that it doesn't get onto a national stage. You have people calling players like Terrell Pryor the N-word. And I'm pretty sure it happens on numerous of occasions. I know it happens in basketball a lot because they're right there on the sideline next to these players. And some of the things they say are totally off-putting. But you got to take a stand right now. And I'm so going to be curious to see what happens. I want to see Ezekiel Elliott or Dak Prescott, one of those dudes, kneel. Because I want to see how far Jerry Jones and the NFL are willing to go. I want to see Miami players like Jay Ajayi kneel. I want to see even further than that. I want to, the Green Bay Packers are owned by their shareholders. They don't have a majority owner. They're owned by the people like you and me. So I want to see what happened when they kneel. Or, you know, if a Aaron Rodgers kneels or a Tom Brady kneels. I want to see these big profile athletes kneel to see and push back at the NFL, because you are taking away their right of freedom of speech. They are not disrespecting a flag. This national anthem, by the way, let's do some history. This national anthem was created during slavery. Now let that sink in. We are celebrating and we are reciting a national anthem that was created during a time where black people didn't even have rights. They were slaves. And then slavery wasn't abolished till like some 20, 30, 40 years later. So, and that's the Emancipation Proclamation. Slaves still weren't free because they were still being killed. We're still not free. We're still not given equal wages. We're still not given the same opportunities college-wise or job-wise as, you know, white people. Minorities do not have the same opportunities in life that white people have. And we either got to rap, sing, or we have to be able to play sports in order to get onto a platform just to be silenced. Now, this is I'm really begging the NFL players right now to take a stand. And I'm begging the ESPN folks to take a stand with Jemele Hill, because it's not fair that people like her are being scrutinized and being suspended because of her thoughts and opinions. Like, I understand she works for ESPN, but her thoughts are her own. She did not say any these feelings are how ESPN feels. She is not misrepresenting ESPN. She is representing herself. So no matter what happens, you know, what she says on Twitter, what she says on a social platform, out and about, she should not be suspended as long as she is being respectful. Nowhere did she disrespect anybody in saying that the Cowboys owners and the Miami owners and the NFL are putting unnecessary burdens on their players. So I beg of you guys, definitely share this video. I beg you to tweet out, stand with Jemele Hill, stand with the NFL players, because they have a voice that echoes our voice, and they're on a larger platform, and they're risking their jobs, their sponsorships. You've already seen what happened to Cam Newton when he disrespected a woman. You've seen what happened when he gave that disrespect. He lost his yogurt deal, and then immediately got given to Dak Prescott. Let this be known. Let this be an eye-opener that you do not have freedom of speech. Like me, I'm even risking my job and my livelihood just for speaking on this. I don't know how, people around me view what I feel, but I just feel like I have to be real and just give my honest opinion, being an opinionated brother I am. And I base it on fact. And that's why I call it an opinionated facts, man. I try to give you the real with my opinion on it. And I don't know where we go from here. I honestly don't. So please feel free to comment and let me know what you think. And definitely follow me on Twitter, OpinionatedMJ. You can follow me there. I will be tweeting out this stuff. I've retweeted what Jerry Jones has said. I've retweeted what other people have said on this matter. I just think it's time for us to take a stand. And this president that we have, first off, it's showing him being voted into office, period, shows the majority of the thoughts of our country. Our fellow, look to the left, look to the right. One of them voted for Trump. And these people are aligned with that dude. They're allowing that dude. And I forgot to even mention, they faked a protest. They flew Pence out, the vice president of the United States, out from California. I think it was in California or Las Vegas at the time. And he flew him out to Indianapolis just to stage a protest because they knew the team that the Colts were going up against were going to kneel. They knew that players were going to kneel. So they flew him out there to attend that game just to see him kneel, just to walk out and say, I walked out because of those players disrespecting the flag. Do not let them confuse you. Do not let them pull the wool over your eyes. This is not about a flag. This is about the fact that minorities are not represented by that flag, are not represented by that national anthem, are not represented by our own president. So until these things happen, I just really hope that these players stand their ground, they kneel, they speak out, they give their opinions, because guess what? You guys are our voice, and we watch you, we support you guys, and we just want to know that no matter what, you guys have our backs, because honestly, like this, a lot of people won't see this video, but I feel like my opinions echo the majority of minorities in this country. So please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment section, like this video, share it on social media. Let's get this word out here. This is the Opinionated Brother, and I'm out.